past me is just really odd. And since past me just said that, it only gets worse and cascades down. I do so many different things online and late at night that I don't recall what I do years on down the road, or even months or weeks down. Anyway, this is a story told through Facebook chat, and away. Greetings from a far and desolate land. I am writing this as my last will and testament to those I had left behind. I am in the bowels of a planet known as Philiaxia. The barrenness of the landscape and the harshness of the weather have weeded us to the core group. My last companion died in my arms tonight. She was emaciated from malnutrition and thirst. I had to lay her to an early rest. There was not enough water rations for both of us. The equivalent of rain is falling. I can hear it from the cave's mouth. It falls steadily and swiftly, a fitting metaphor to its treatment of our brigade. It was a dormant threat, cloaked in the guise of harmlessness, but its effects negated any hope of survival, for the absence of good cuts as deeply as the presence of an evil. It just takes longer to wound you. I've spit in the face of nature, reveling in my dominance for 28 years. It is only now that I discover that there is a consequence. Nature cares not for my rebellion, but will humble me through its ability to endure past the lifetimes of man. I see my end as clearly as if I were reading the historical archives of this expedition. Only, there will be no one to hear my story, save for you. This was a desperate assignment, and it is unlikely that any will follow. Why you, my audience, have come is beyond me. The days must indeed be dark. Your life will only grow ever more overshadowed the longer you remain here. There is nothing. This is a void, happened upon by chance. A pocket universe enfolded in the crevices of a convergence of 3 dimensions. We were the advance guard. We were a party without mirth. We were to explore the possibility of the expansion of humanity's borders. The population of Earth is unsustainable. We could not feed and shelter everyone. I was initiate of a privately owned security corporation, promised at birth by my parents in exchange for a 100-square-foot abode and 3 years of food supplies. I have lost the plot. Where is the water of life? I am dizzied from lack of sleep, but I cannot succumb to the trials of the night. I check my mobile communication device out of habit. I used to have an online account, by which I detailed mental notes and feelings. Of course, my battery is long dead, and soon shall I be as well. New entry. I have begun a strict regimen of humming popular show tunes under my breath. Am lonely, and regret stoving Bauer's face in with a cheese slicer. Here's looking at my ration pack with too much longing in his half-starved eyes. New entry. I don't recall the taste of spoons, the batter of cupcakes, the softness of butter. Month later. Things creep in the night hours. My sleep has been irregular of late. My memories haunt my dreams. The knowledge that I ate flesh and sinew to survive and sustain my own lifespan. Now it disgusts and scandalizes me. A few weeks later. I can no longer hear her voice. I whispered to the chilled winds. I swallowed my humanitarianism long ago. 5 days later. I wonder why you never reply. I scold myself for my lack of refinement. When you are alone, your best friend is also your mortal enemy. My enmity knows not its limitations. I shall lose control one night and strangle him while he sleeps. It has been weeks since I have been so frustrated. He can be so personable at times, but auto-cannibalism can make anyone grumpy, I hear. I'm so famished. I dream of baby foxes frolicking near the warm stones of a fire. Jerry, the one with a dull purple coat, is biting the right front paw of Raiden, that pretty yellow one. I think this is what they would call foreplay. I don't recall details with any clarity. Following day. I fear I'm losing grip of what is false. I have lived so long in truth and reality that I cannot have the imagination to properly deceive myself. I need better stories than I can construct and consume. I find myself wondering what Thomas's last words were when he coughed up my left earlobe. I know now that I couldn't have afforded him that advantage of a breath. This doesn't console me, though. I am a man drowning upside down in a salt water. See, willfully exploring. and consuming my imaginative depths to find a refuge from my physical plight. I have heard of men who have such self-control. They can stare at plankton without whipping out a knife and slitting the algae into lurid shapes. I tear things up wherever I venture. I would blame my parents, but I don't recall them enough to do it. How can I bear to hate someone I don't remember? I have already borne the weight of malice towards my crewmates whom I do. Oh, how I do. I see them in my waking hours. Only when I close my eyes do I experience the emotional turmoil of the scars. They wronged me, and I repaid them in kind. This land is no place for a civilization. There is no civility where there is no reason. You live by your hands and wit here. It is how I have outlasted them. There is no victory, no satisfaction to be derived from their fading. I wonder who I would have become if I had not been conscripted, whether my inner glow of humanity would have been darkened as deeply, maybe in subtler ways. I would have backstabbed my peers. I willingly admit to the self-interest of my continued survival as transformation and rationalization. No one with any brain matter wants to jump off into the unknown of the afterlife. Those who do that leap are cowards who cannot handle their responsibilities in the real world. Whether conscious of it or not, they believe that death would be a kinder mistress. She isn't. The first few times I ventured close to her sanctum, I admit being a mite tempted to end my sojourn on this foul earth. But I could feel my opponent's hands being occupied and suffocating my nose. It was a rare opportunity in the skirmish to flip the tables, to do nothing and let him live. The rest was selfish. He deserved her fatal attentions as much as I. Who was I to deprive him of her company? As I drove my knee into his sturdy solar plexus, that death rattle soon convinced me of my error. He was ungrateful for the opportune one-way trip. I determined that the next passenger I sent would be more appreciative, even if I had to shake the fool up a bit to generate enthusiasm. 3 days later. I coughed up a key today. I don't remember where the lock fit. 2 days later. I wonder why I ever ate meat. It is tough, it's new, bloody. As a child, I was a touch of an invalid. I now believe that the partaking of flesh was as close to a battle as I could muster. It was as though I was triumphing over a beastly enemy, tearing apart ligaments and skin, devouring my weakness through the dominance of another creature's remains. 2 days later. There is no night, no darkness but that which lies within. I will consume the living and the dead. Tea leaves will heal my pain, whether we live cultured or cut into tiny bags. 2 hours later. I have not perished, though your sentiments are appreciated. 2 days later. Will you bring me a glass of mead? My lips are parched from singing the siren's song. Today. The rain has stopped. A new king shall be elected per tradition. I am a benevolent ruler. I don't know what you're supposed to get from this. They're thoughts and fragments that I have through typing them out. It's kind of scary to explore yourself and see which ways you will go, even though this character is not me. Who am I?